Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Well, actually, more like two anime reviews, and really not anime technically because I'm reviewing obviously RWBY. I'll be reviewing RWBY Volume 4, Episode 3, and Volume 4, Episode 4 in just one giant review. Now, the only reason I'm doing this is because I am slightly off with these things. I'm behind with reviewing them in general. I'm not expecting a lot of views on these, unfortunately, but it's not really a big deal. I just want to make sure so when I do the fifth review, because that's when I'm going to probably get back into the swing of things because now I'm a little bit less busy with school. You know, even though it's like finals week coming up, I'm pretty much all set with my final stuff, so I'm not really too worried about that. But before, I couldn't really review things too often on Saturdays. Even still, I have problems reviewing stuff on Saturday, unfortunately. But you know, I should be able to be a little more on schedule, and I'll probably get RWBY reviews out there to you guys as soon as they become available to me. So let's talk a little bit about each one. I mean, like I said, it's already been, 2 weeks since I think both of them aired, so I'm not going to go into super amounts of details with them. I'm just going to give you a quick kind of rundown of what I thought about the episode and overall kind of what happened. So, episode 3 focused a lot on Blake and her journey across to go back to her family's home. She essentially broke from the team for just the time being because she doesn't know what she wants to do. And I guess for her, her best place to go and kind of find herself is to be back home with her family. And on the ship that she's going back, she sees a visitor of some sort following her. And what's really interesting about this sequence of events is, besides even that, you know, there's this giant Grim that appears out of the water, and she has to then fight it. But luckily, Sun is there to actually help out, and apparently he's been following her since she departed from Team RWBY, just to make sure she's been all right and stuff like that. And he actually expected her to go and fight, like, you know, oh, you're gonna fight the ones in charge, you know, you're gonna fight Cinder and all of them. I'm here to help you. I got your back. But she's like, no, I just want to go home. And you know, he's like, well, I'll go with you there then. You know, I'll meet your parents and stuff like this. So I'm like, whoa, dude, what is this? Is this like you're gonna ask her out? What are you doing here? But I think that's pretty cute. I thought this episode was very strong. I loved the fight with the Grim. I think that was one of the highlights of it, definitely, just because we don't see too many sea giant Grims like this. So that was pretty cool. Now, probably episode 4 for me was probably what took the cake as one of the better episodes of the season so far, where we see Yang now. This is kind of her episode focus, where she's still struggling with the inner turmoil that she's having with, you know, kind of the PTSD that she's suffering from the losing her arm and stuff like that, to the point that you see her going through her various minds. She's having a nightmare where she's fighting and then loses her arm and she's not able to fight anymore. She loses both arms. She feels inadequate, essentially. Now, what I thought was really cool was we have the two professors from you know, the actual school show up there, and they're talking with her father because they're talking about just good old times and stuff like that. Like, they're talking about how Crow was one time apparently in a skirt for some reason. That was kind of weird, but they were all having a good time. And, you know, the father says some harsh things at Yang, but Yang just was like, nah, that's so mean, and punched him. I'm like, damn, Yang. You know, you guys are tough. You really, both of you are tough, which was, I think, really cool and funny. It goes to show you that, you know, just in general, that's how they are together. It's, you know, they don't hold any punches back from each other. Maybe he's different with, of course, RWBY because she's a little bit more innocent. But with Yang, Yang is a tomboy in many ways. So, yeah, she might be a girl, but she doesn't act girly. So that's really something about her that I think people forget. And, you know, seeing her in the situation, I think maybe is, you know, the realization that, you know, hey, she does have some weaknesses to her in general. You know, she's like afraid to use the arm, but as we see here, she's finally puts on the robotic arm and is kind of willing to use it. Her father at the end goes, okay, it's time to actually start training then, okay. And I thought that was a really cool episode. I thought it was very focused on her, which is really cool. So far, we've had a focus on every single one of these characters. We've seen RWBY with her new team right now, with, you know, Junior, quote unquote. We've seen Weiss, we've seen Yang, and we've seen Blake. We've seen them all. So I'm expecting episode 5 to focus on some more shifts of some sort, probably see what's going on with everything in general in terms of, you know, are they going to get back together, maybe them trying to kind of start getting back together, at least the kind of pathways. There was one highlight I forgot to mention from episode 4 that I think was very important, where we see essentially where we hear Ozpin's voice via the one kid in the barn. Now, I'm going to say this right now. I think Oscar, I think his name is, or at least that's what I'm believing that name is. I think right now that's a girl. Actually, I think that's a tomboy. You know, she's just dressed as a dude for the most part, but secretly is the Spring Maiden. So that's my hypothesis on this, because that's what I've been going off of. I've said that from the very first episode, so I mean, people know that I've said that. It's not like I'm just coming out of thin air with that. But I'm really curious if that's the concept, or maybe that the spring maiden, because maiden in many ways does not always have to resemble a girl, excuse me. So I mean, it's possible he's a dude, he's just a very feminine dude, and maybe he has the abilities of the spring maiden. That's possible too, but I'm still gonna say that's a girl. I think it really is a girl. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this kind of double review or dual review, whatever you want to call it. Don't expect these too often. Like, I really don't like doing this too often. But when it comes to like shows that I've missed out on episodes and it's already been like weeks already since doing that, I might as well do this. So I hope you do understand that completely. Anyways, you guys and girls, I hope you have a great, blessed day, everyone. I will talk to you later. If you haven't already, check out my You're a Nice review that came out a little while ago. Hopefully, you guys enjoy that. I will talk to you all later. I think I said that already, but whatever. Have a great, blessed day, everyone. Have a good night also. Bye bye.